Hello everybody and welcome back to the European Pro League fall season. My name is Sims and boy oh boy do we have a fantastic game number 2 coming up on stream for you. It is of course the European match of the week. Vibe going up against FAB. This is pretty much Clash of the Titans, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please, please tweet the stream. Use the hashtag HCS. This is the battle for first seed. Nothing's guaranteed, but certainly what is guaranteed, both of these teams will want the win. Once again, on the desk, joining me, I have Danny G, Harry C. Gentlemen, you both as excited as I am for this next match?
I really am. I don't think this is just the best game in Europe. I think this is the best game throughout Pro League. I think this beats any of the NA games. I think this is just two of the biggest teams in Europe now facing up against each other. They're going to put on a show. There's a lot of statistics. There's a lot of kills that these guys are more than capable of doing. And yeah, it's going to be a good one.
The one thing we can always say about FAB and Vibe is that both teams always turn up.
Yeah.
They always turn up.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a bad week out of Vibe yet. Certainly not on the broadcast. So both these teams always turn up. So I am 100% sure we're going to see an absolute barn burner here. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I want to get in the game, man. I'm so excited.
It must mean something really, really good. So let's show you guys at home the two rosters that will be going into this barn burner, if that is such a word. Vibe versus FAB E. Take a look at the red corner or the purple corner as we more likely see them across this roster. Is an awesome, awesome stacked up lineup. Some big European names that you will know. Snaky, Cristola, Snipe Drone, and Septic. Without a doubt, solidified as the second best team in Europe right now and one of the world's best. But they've got to go up against, at the moment, Europe's finest. Respectful, Moz, Jimbo, and 2Foxy. They make up FAB Esports.
And these guys are just looking phenomenal. I mean, Respectful and Moz, between them, they're almost plus 200. They are disgusting at this game. They really are. They've really adapted to the meta. And when you've got players like 2Foxy and Jimbo supporting you as well, you know you're going to be in for a treat. These guys are the best team in Europe. I can say that with my hand on heart. Yes, okay, they lost to Infused, but I still don't think that's going to deter them from winning this season.
Speaking of the series, here we have it on screen. Kicking things off, it's going to be Coliseum, capture the flag. We're going to be playing out a double Truth if we do go to game number 4. For game number 2 will be Truth Slayer. Eden Strongholds will make up your game number 3. Truth capture the flag will then come in effect for game number 4. And then game number 5, oh baby, do we want to see it? It could be the Rig Team Slayer. And what a way to end this series. A game 5 would be awesome. We all want to see it. Guys, please, 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 tweet the stream. Use the hashtag. Let everyone know what's going down on Facebook. We are actually streaming on Facebook at Facebook Live. Head over there. Give it a share. Show all the people that follow you and you follow each other what you're watching and what European Halo Esports is all about. Harry, I know you've got some stuff to say about this matchup. Anything about that series and the layout and the maps that kind of screams to you?
Nope. I'll tell you what, though. Both of these teams feature 4 out of the top 5 league-wide leaders in KDA and power weapon kills. So that's 4 out of the top 5 league-wide. So this is going to be a slugfest. Have you seriously never heard of barn burner before?
No.
Really?
Is this some sort of southern word?
No.
Have you heard about it?
I mean, I'm southern, and I know what a barn burner is.
You're a barn burner southern.
You know what a barn burner is down my end?
I have a barn in my
barn. Down my barn, my lover, I swear.
Going back to maps, because you asked about maps, I mean, there is only one map that these guys played last time they met up. It's Truth Slayer, and FAB won that 50-47. It was a close one. So maybe there is a chance for Vibe to rectify that and to get back on track, but it's nice to see them playing game types that they hadn't previously played against each other. I'm sure they played them many a time in scrims against each other, but this should be a slobber knocker.
The one thing I want to stress here, and I'm pretty sure I'm not talking rubbish here, I think I just saw the other day Jimmy tweeting about how he's not streaming at this moment in time because he's going in for practice. When Jim is going in for practice, you know it's serious business, especially when he kind of is getting so big within Twitch at this moment in time and he's getting a massive audience. To kind of take a step back from that and say, no, it's practice time now. It's heads down, head in the game. And honestly, I think from looking at some of the series scores and from what I was watching on Septic stream the other day, I think this could be a difficult one for Vibe. FAB really want to cement themselves at the top there and turn this series into an easy 3-0. Capture the flag on Coliseum is going to be your game number 1, guys. First team to capture 3 flags will win this matchup.
Watch out for the vibe dynamic, because kind of when they're playing against almost every single team, we have Septic and Snakey, who are kind of the backbone of the team, but then they have Cristola and Snipe Drone going off. In my opinion, if they want to take down FAB, all 4 players need to be firing, because FAB, top of the league right now, and they are just so good.
Jimmy's going to plant that Splinter Nade on the floor, tags up Cristola. Look at that! How he just instantly grabs the call out, snaps to the player across the map, drills him with the Magnum, down he goes, rockets in the hand. This is, you know, we're 10 seconds into the game, we're getting hyped. Let me just calm this down a second. I'm quite excited for this matchup, but anything can happen. Jim's diving in rather aggressively. That second rocket didn't actually come out then. I think, my mind or my eyes deceiving me there?
It's trigger discipline. He decided not to. He said, you know what, I'll probably die if I shoot this other rocket. And you can see it's working out right now. He's able to rotate in. Another missed rocket, though. That's kind of a rare miss there from Jimbo, but he will still have 2 of his teammates, in the base, but this run is actually going to be shut down here from Vibe.
Really early aggression from FAB, and I think it's what they needed, especially when Vibe at the moment, they're 8-1 in flag game types across the board. They've only lost 1, so I think FAB just need to take it to Vibe, not give them a chance to kind of set up and get used to the game and give them any time to think, really. So this is what a start that FAB needed, but they haven't been able to get a flag out. This is the problem. Vibe now can start repositioning themselves, get themselves some snipe control, and begin pushing for a flag themselves.
Respectful spots one down in the basement. He's going to chase it. It's going to be Cristola who hangs in the corner, but more than likely will get tagged up. At least he gets the stick off before he dies, and does get the trade there. So hop across the Septic's POV. Curse of the Casters be doing that more, shuts him down. Moving across the Snake, he's falling back on defense. He's forced to rotate. 2Foxy comes in, takes him down as well. At the moment, bodies are dropping across this Vibe roster. Cristola's still alive though, I think, coming off of that original spawn that we saw him earlier on. Does have anyone going to drop down in there? No, he's actually going to manage to pull back at least, so just really waiting around with the scatter shot, hoping someone pops down. Someone does, completely misses that one, and his teammate will be forced to at least grab the kill. So he's going to crouch down now here in grass. We've got somebody over at S3. They may have just copped him. No, they don't. So most are cleaned up by the one shot as well. Turns around, and now they can make the advancement. Now they're past the 50-yard line. They're into the base of FAB. It's how they grab this flag and how they crack the shell, so to speak, as they move forward and drop it down into grass.
This is kind of almost like old school Ramirez type flag running. He got a kill and then sprinted towards the FAB base there, was able to get the pull, and look at where the flag is right now. This is actually really nice play there out of 2Foxy. He's going to get the return, and just like that, the flag run is stopped for Vibe. But early signs of aggression here for Vibe. They certainly seem the more likely in the first couple of minutes of this game.
I like what he did. He saw that there were several members of FAB pushing towards his base, so he just wanted to kind of bring them back. It wasn't necessarily him trying to capture a flag there, more just trying to distract FAB from being able to pull a flag of their own.
Notice how he was just tapping there as well, just to at least try and stop the spread to make sure that he got that kill. This is the kind of level of play we want to be looking for these players. Unfortunately, neither of these top-level European teams know how to use rockets to the best of their abilities. Hopefully, somebody picks them up and shows them how to use it exactly. Sniper Rifle's going to be popping in a second, and Respectful knows this, so they need to take down Snakey, because that's not the kind of guy you want to be letting loose with the Sniper Rifle. The team roster of Vibe is pretty disgusting. If they get a hold of that weapon, it could be wham bam, thank you ma'am, and good night for FAB. Mo's coming straight off, running across, grabs the BR as well. Now he's going to try and anchor in the cave. Grenades are going in. I'm not seeing any hit markers though, but people are getting tagged up by that Sniper Rifle. Holds off on Cristola for just a second. Look at this. He can see him, and he can at least not giving away his position. Now we'll keep on crouching. He's got that SMG in the back pocket. Will push in. Someone comes around the corner. It's going to be Snakey. He at least does get his shields back in full, so he will manage to get away with his life. The flag's going to get on the move. But you know what? Just look at Septic though, where he is. He's crouched down below. However, Mose needs to be... He can make use of this. There's Septic coming in now on the push. Great play from him. Just wait there, let the flag come to him, do the damage, and he's got the stop. But 2 players now are advancing on that flag. Respectful's going to get a touch, but look at Jimbo. He's waiting in brick. Can he get this kill?
Great stuff from Septic. He's still alive, picks up the double. He stopped the flag pretty much single-handedly there, and then off spawn, his teammates were there to support him. I've really got to say, Vibe are doing fantastically to sustain this pressure from FAB. We saw all 4 of them were in the base, but they waited for someone from FAB to make a mistake. As soon as they got even the slightest chance to push out, that's when Vibe, they just ran out, they stopped, and they allowed Septic to get in that position to stop that flag.
Yeah, it was beautiful from both sides. I mean, I was just so happy with the trigger discipline from Moze. Great snapshot there from 2Foxy. That's going to propel his team into the Vibe base, but I just love the plays coming out from both teams. We knew this would be a slobber knocker, and 2Foxy has turned up.
Yeah, now the snipes are coming out of him. They are real. World Popper! If he would have got that kill, that would have been amazing. Time and time again, we see people getting the bait and switch. Will hop back and then thrust forward, take down that kill. Moses stopped as well in his tracks as he's moving the flag. The flag will fall dead. I like this play from Snipe Drone. He's going to flank around and grab the flag and run. In fact, he's not. I'm talking rubbish. So that's perfect teamwork for one of his teammates saying, hold fire a minute, we need to get in position. Don't do a very silly pull. Waits for a second, then grabs it to at least get his teammates into position to receive this flag from them.
Not only that, that was just great kind of information gathering there from Snipe. I don't think it's going to work out because Vibe just don't have that slaying power this time round, and I think FAB have the weapons. But Snipe pushing in round that kind of rock side, he knew exactly the fact that most of the FAB players will be on spawn. He counted in his head up to around 7 or 8 seconds, said, you know what, there's no one spawning on me. They're all going to be flooding out of the Snipe side of the map. We know how FAB like to play. Snipe Drone there took a risk, and now he's got the flag in his own base.
I was about to say, I don't know where Foxy is though, and he was hiding around the corner all that time. One goes down though, and finally we do see something coming out of them, so Vibe put the first flag in. They're going to take an early lead.
I think this is what the game needed as well. You could see both teams were trying to get into that base just to pull a flag and try and sneak it around the map, because there's no real control yet from either side. It's been very back and forth. I like this Snipe Drone took the initiative. He got the flag out. He chucked it in towards his base. He didn't want to kind of force it too much. Then, unfortunately for FAB, we saw Foxy charge in. He couldn't pick up a kill. He stayed alive, but then he got taken down as well. So great stuff from Vibe being able to get this early lead here. I said they're looking confident in flag games throughout the whole season. So if they are going to take a game against FAB, it's probably going to be this one.
I might be wrong there, but I actually think as Snipe Drone kind of dropped in with those rockets, he actually got tagged up by a sniper. So both power weapons are now going to be falling in the hands of FAB. Let's see what kind of damage they can do with it. Moses just trying to stay alive with this SMG. Will not be able to get a trade off because Cristola shuts him down with the BR flying through the air. Jimbo's going to come on the assault as well around the pyramid, just checking the outside skirts. No one's there. Does get the thrust, but he gets hit with a DMR from Septic. Down he goes as well. Now Snake is going to be forcing a push as we see the sniper rifle in the hands of 2Foxy, just hiding back in his own cave. Not entirely sure where he's gone now, though, looking across the map.
He went down. He got killed by Septic, so that's actually a huge scalp for Vibe to take right there.
Well, putting him down at least. 2-1 but drop as well. Dan, kind of break this one down for us just a little bit of a second while we're kind of going to pause this for a minute. It's a bit of back and forth. We've got Moser who's going to pull it, but why are FAB, I don't want to say struggling so much, but why aren't we seeing so many flag caps coming out of them?
It's because Vibe at the moment, there's always one player who just lingers around like a bad smell. You can see he's always there, either bottom mid, it was Septic when they originally pulled a flag, or they're just under the base. Snakey's been under the base a few times just to catch FAB off guard. So regardless, when FAB get maybe 2 or 3 down, there's always that one last player just being a nuisance, staying alive, and putting themselves in position to stop the flag run. It looks like it's frustrating FAB a bit because in general they have the map control, but they've just not been able to get that flag across the map.
But at least they now have the numbers. They need to get, you mentioned about the bad smell. Once again, another player in the base. They need to take out Cristola. Great map movement. Fair enough, he dies, but causing enough time to at least stay alive for enough. The flag's there. Bang, it's in. 4:20 on the clock, 1 apiece.
Yeah, they've got the Febreze out and got rid of that bad smell. Great stuff from them. It does happen sometimes when you have that one player who's just there to stop a flag. If they don't get in a good enough position, if they are taken down, then the flag should go in very easily. It's a risky game to play for Vibe, but it can work. And they kind of have to go for that approach just because FAB do have that individual battle won, to be honest. They have the sheer skill on that side, I would say, are the better players.
Can't wait till Cristola watches this back and he just sees us calling him a bad smell time and time again. Hopping on board with Jimbo's POV then is running around, just struggling to get those shields back and topped up to full, drops down to around 40%. Crouching around in the maze, gets jawlined by a rocket, down he goes, hop on the Snipe Drone's POV, 3 rockets in the barrel, catches somebody, I don't know if he just saw his hand or his elbow, just generally knew who were there, fired the rocket. That's 2 for 2 right now. He's got 2 more left in the chamber, and they're pinning in FAB. They need to get a couple more kills. They're going to throw the grenade in, try and get some hit markers, finds a random one, goes for the YOLO rocket, unfortunately doesn't find his target, but at least they know where he is. I've still not seen 2Foxy pop up on the radar. Jimbo's going to answer back with one. Snipe Drone's on for a killing spree. Pre-grenading in that corner like any good player does. Down goes Respectful, out comes the flagpole.
Yeah, you said no one could use rockets, but at the moment, Snipedrone is definitely proving you wrong. And this is what we want to see from Vibe. When they finally get that map control to take the initiative, to get into the base, to pull a flag. We can see several members of FAB now are trying to stop it, but Snaky was under the base. He made sure no one was going to stop that flag. They go 2-1 up. And dare I say it, Vibe, could they take game 1?
I tell you what, Snipedrone's been an absolute point man here for Vibe. He's just doing so much work. Look at this, is like the 3rd time in a row we've seen him just flank around this side of the map. He got into the enemy base. He actually got into the FAB base. And look, you can see in the kill feed, all 3 of his teammates are down. He's still pulling the flag. He's still being a thorn in the side of FAB. Although FAB, at the moment, are running a flag of their own.
Harry, I'm going to say this. Where he's pulling the flag every time, I would say a good fight. Oh. Flag's moving in there. I'll pause there for a second as Moses there down on Fountain and struggling a little bit. He's got full shields. He will be able to get the touch. If they can get the return, they're going to be drying this up 2 apiece, which, oh my word, we are doing. And a stealth cap as well, which means nobody saw him pull that. No one even bothered to tag him up or try and stop him.
This is what I said. This is the risk from Vibe. This was the risk of Snipedrone pushing ahead. He allowed his teammates to go in a 4v3 situation. It meant they all went down. FAB were able to pull that flag, and it was all on Snipedrone's shoulders, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to stop it. Vibe, however, if they do continue with this approach, perhaps they can catch FAB off guard, but with the control that FAB have had on this snipe side, it's going to be really hard for Vibe to pull another one if they want to go for that.
I love how Mose will just tap away at that AR just to ensure that the bullet spread lands every single shot. He got the reversal. It was so sweet. A trade did come off of Rockets. We're going to see Respectful at least tag one up on the pyramid. Double kill comes in. He's going to get the reload. He's got one player down him. Doesn't catch that one player, so he's crouching around the oven and gone back towards the pyramid. Harry, what you seeing, brother?
Can I just say, for the rest of the Pro League watching right now, just take notes on how to use rockets, because these 2 teams have used these to perfect effect. I think that was only like the 2nd or 3rd missed rocket we've seen, but as I'm saying that, the flag is on the move, but Cristola is there to try and get the return. Great touch out, Respectful.
No.
He almost stayed alive then as well, so this flag very much still alive. Mo's getting 2 in a row. That's going to help things out, and Jimbo's here for the secure as well, so this could be all she wrote, as Jimbo is doing work, but Snipedrone once again. This is madness. Can Vibe get across the map in time?
How the bloody hell did he touch that? He knew what he wanted. He saw the target, pops it there. 3 members dive bomb. My word, what a game. We will see FAB clean up game number 1, 3 caps to 2. That was insane. That final flag touch, good lord, awesome work.
Great stuff from Respectful, just being able to get back and touch that flag. Vibe clearly had a game plan. They knew they were going to be on the back foot, but they constantly tried to sneak that one person around. And yes, it worked several times, well, a couple of times to be precise. But unfortunately, in the end, the control was too much for FAB. I mean, look at those statistics, Harry.
Yeah, 26 out of Respectful, top Slayer in the game. 2 flag caps from Mose as well. On the Vibe side, you've got to say not a whole lot of slaying output outside of Snipedrone. He was the kind of star player in that game for them, but he couldn't do the entire work, and unfortunately, just again, the brute force of slaying power coming out of FAB was just too much for Vibe to handle, and as a result, FAB take game number 1.
Gotta say though, great effort. Certainly, I mean, we look at those kills. In comparison, it certainly doesn't tell the full storyline. This at the start, I mean, I wish I could shoot like that. Some of these players, when you see them, and they just land every single shot after shot and picking them up so easy.
Here, to save the flag cap from Septic was so huge. I mean, just when you're out in bottom middle right there, and you know you're the only player that can stop a flag cap, there's so much pressure on you to try and make a play. He didn't just get 1 kill, he stopped the entire flag run by getting 2, and it was just magical there from Septic, but unfortunately it doesn't win his team the game.
I'm really looking forward to see if we see that actual final flag touch. So there it is, Cristola. Look at how close that was, and just grabbed it, then jawlines him, takes one down, and then his teammates just sealed the deal, taking a few more kills and a few more faces, and Fabi go 1-0 up in this best of 5 series. But certainly, it's going to be a fiery one. I'm not predicting a 3. I mean, I kind of said at the start, I think it could have been, but that did not prove it in any way.
No, certainly not. I was actually very happy with the way that Vibe played that. It was almost like they did the homework on Fabi, because the amount of times I've seen on Fabi's stream where, say on like a Fathom or even on like a Plaza, they'll all flood around one kind of area of the map. It's almost as if Snipedrone knew how they were playing and said, hold on, I'm just going to sit here on the rocket corner and just say, I'm going to count to 7. If they're not pushing me by now, they're not pushing around this side of the map. I can run a flag around that side of the map, and all I have to do is hope my teammates just hold this slaying power that comes out of Fabi, and it worked a couple of times for them, but unfortunately I think Fabi kind of sussed out and kind of counteracted that, and in the end it just they just kind of forced the flag through, and it worked out purely based on their slaying power.
So Snipe Drone knowing what Foxy and Jimbo are going to do. I mean, who would have thought? It's like they
crazy,
teamed together.
Right?
Or
Yeah,
something.
almost crazy.
But it's exactly, Harry's exactly right. And to be fair, it got them 2 flag captures in the end. And you say, you're not going to say it's a 3-0 because that's what you saw. But I think if they were going to take a game, it was going to be that. Just because of their flag results in the past for Vibe, I really think they had to get that one on the board. Now going into a Truth Slayer, which they've lost before, and then Eden Strongholds, which is a very strong game type for FAB. This could be a 3-0, but I think if they've done their research and they've got these kind of game plans, then maybe we could be in for a surprise here.
So we're moving into Eden then. Let's talk about what needs to be done. I'll start off with yourself, Harry, and then we're moving to you, Dan. How do you take this map, specifically? How do you take it from FAB?
Which map is it? Sorry,
Truth
Slayer.
Excuse me,
not Eden.
okay.
That's map 3.
So Truth Slayer, it's a tough one. I think against Fabi especially, the way they control the sword, you absolutely have to consider that a power weapon, and you have to just put pressure on it constantly. You have to just make a mental note, make a vocal note to your team where that sword is at all times. Because if you let Moza and Respectful just run around bases with the sword, it's going to be so hard for you when you're worrying about rifles pinging you from top, middle, and towers, and you're worrying about a sword slicing you up the backside. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun place to be, people. Trust me. I've been there in arena. It's not great. It's not fun.
I think the big thing is delaying your opposition from getting kills when they have map control, not just flooding out of bases, and when they've got those rifles, just plowing into the rifles and giving them kills. You really need to take your time and choose your moment, perhaps when camouflage is going to come up, perhaps when sword is going to come up. That's when you pick your moment, that's when you push, and just not give them too much of an advantage.
Well, let's see if either teams do take note of them little cheeky tips here at the desk. Slayer on Truth, first 250 kills will claim victory in this second matchup. It's going to be an awesome one, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS. FAB going up against Vibe, Europe's 2 top teams right now, gunning out for that first place as we look on forward to the fall season finals.
Aggressive push from Jimbo as well. You should be able to get camouflage, but usually the camouflage does get burnt. It's so hard to get away, but he still managed to lay down shots across the map. All 4 dead for Vibe. What a start from FAB.
Incredible scenes here, ladies and gentlemen. He just did it again, same thing. Jimmy's gun snaps to people's jawlines. He just spins it around on a pinhead and lays down a whole ammunition clip. Does actually get burnt out there. It was a bit of a questionable one there. I think he didn't want to waste the ammo, didn't want to kill himself because he was too close to that bubble. Did pause for a second. Move across to Respectful. Team captain's POV now. Sword in the back pocket. They say they went 4-0 up instantly. Vibe have just bagged 3 of them themselves. And, you know, they're kind of at least keeping this to them.
What Vibe didn't realise, though, is that they slayed out 3 of the FAB players, but completely forgot about Respectful. And as we touched about, he now has a rifle in the tower, but he also has a sword. And as soon as we switched to his point of view, excuse me, he had that sword in a base, and that's not what you want if you're Vibe. And you can actually see their snipe drone actually electing to run straight away from the base. He knows Respectful is going to be over there with that sword, so doesn't want to be running into a knife. And let's be honest, nobody really wants that, especially when it's Respectful with it.
I mean, quite a lot of times when we look back at H2, P2 is generally a strong place that you would see people just hanging around with a sword and YOLOing and just waiting for people to walk on into it. Definitely not this kind of style now. You want to get stuck in there. You run faster with the sword. Personal preference, Harry, where you want to be putting that on this map?
The sword?
Yeah.
Apart
honestly, from in the back of another player.
Apart from in the back of another player, you just got to flank around with it, man. You got to, you know, use the added movement speed to your advantage and just rotate from base to base. You need your other 2 or even 3 teammates to just control the towers, but what we're seeing right here from Respectful, he's just holding it in the tower and supplementing, excuse me, that tower control for his team. But in my opinion, it's all about getting those rifles up in the towers, suppressing people in the base, and letting the sword guy go to work.
And I said in this game type, it's about not allowing your opposition to kind of get that lead when they've got control, and Vibe have been doing that perfectly. Despite going 4-0 down, they were still able to get 3 kills because they picked where they wanted to push on the map, and they took control of it. They didn't just push out 1 by 1, they didn't push out willy-nilly. They made sure they knew where they were going, they had a game plan, and I think that's kind of what we were saying about Vibe in general this series. They've got a game plan and they're sticking to it.
So what was very interesting there is that Fabi actually had a 3-point lead, but the Fuel Rod and Camouflage both came up. Snakey was such a sneaky beaver, picked up the Camouflage, but hid in the corner, and now he has this Camouflage to play with. This is bad news bears for Fabi.
It is indeed, and I think especially considering the first camouflage went to FAB. I would have thought that they would have been in a position to grab that. Unfortunately, Vibe there on top of things. They clearly noted when Jimbo picked that up. They didn't manage to kill him first off, but they were able to kind of rectify that by picking up the second one. Now Snaky needs to make the most of it. Jimbo wasn't able to do so in the first half, the first camouflage, sorry, but now Snaky has a chance to be a little bit sneaky here.
Honestly, this is kind of what he's doing. Mo's hasn't seen where he is, so I don't know why we always go quiet when we do this, but Mo's will now have seen him on the radar, so he's going to go for the Storm Rifle. Storm Rifle puts in work, takes down Mo's. 2-kill lead now for Vibe. Respectful didn't catch him, though. He was weak, so that's going to be advantage to Snaky picking up that double kill. Little tiny piece of either miscommunication or misjudgment where Snaky was going to be there from Respectful, unfortunately. Now we're still in this 2-kill lead, but look, all FAB are just stuck over at Carbine. Is that really a great place to have all four players?
You called it perfectly there, Sims, and you can see now on the player outlines they're rotating around into the blue base. So good call from them. They got a kill and then they rotated around to the base. I was about to say they didn't have a home base, but they identified the problem. But right here, Snaky is just being an absolute star for his team. Killing spree already, and they're up by 3.
They don't have a home base, but at the moment they're setting up furniture like they're in an IKEA. They are just pushing in, and they are making sure that FAB cannot get control of this game whatsoever. This is what they need to do. They need to take it to FAB. Don't give them any chance to breathe.
Spicy memes.
For you guys at home, there was a fist bump that came out from across the desk as Dan dropped that, the dankest of memes. We are always looking for dank memes, so by all means tweet them in at ESL Halo. We'll retweet a few of the best. Snaky now running in with a fuel rod and a spicy gun of himself. Does go down. Protector Medal will poke up. Snipe Drone's left on his own. We can see one player on the radar. It's going to be Jimbo on the player outlines. Snipe Drone will drop down. Jim kind of pokes up. He knows he's going to be above him. In comes a sword, slice and dice. They do get a trade as he gives him the green screen of death.
Yeah, I was about to say...
Sorry, I caught you off guard there, my apologies.
It's okay. I was about to say it was good play there from Snipe Drone. He was actually kind of crouching in the base, just waiting for a player to come by with that sword. I was about to point out this is exactly where you want the sword, but he kind of did just drop it to the Fabby side, so wouldn't be surprised to see Fab here try and get a little bit more rifle control. You can see the damage the rifle's doing there from Septic. Cross map, just shooting 2 Foxy down to no shields across the map. That's invaluable damage done, and that's going to slow the Fabby push down quite a lot. So I'd like to see Fabby try and get more rifles on the board, because Vibe certainly dominating that aspect at the moment.
So 7 minutes remaining on the clock. We're going to see, dodgy. At least the double beatdown will come out of Foxy. They will answer back with one still. This 5-kill lead is a very, very narrow gap. If anyone can come back from a 5-kill deficit, it's FAB E. They are particularly good at Slayer maps. 2 players in the player outlines will advance round. Will shoot up top on the Splinter Nades to explode them. No one's there as well. Cristola drops down, no shield. Looking for that call out, but every time I'm looking at certain players, and they're trying to set up time and time again on the opposing side of the map, guys. We're looking at that kill feed. It's still Vibe who are racking up the kills.
It's because every single time that a member of Vibe gets weak, they back off, and another one just immediately charges out to finish off the kill. They're baiting and switching perfectly, and FAB at the moment, they're wasting so much resources on putting shots into players they just can't kill. They're trying to flank around, they're trying to pincer, but it's just not really working for them.
Yeah, you heard that fuel rod in 10 seconds. Also that camouflage coming up. Getting both of these is going to be absolutely vital to Fabby, but you can see right here, they're just hemorrhaging deaths. Yeah. And this scoreline is increasing here for Vibe. You've got to say, if they want a chance, Fabby, for getting back in this game, they have to get the next camouflage, they have to get the next fuel rod, but right now Vibe are slaughtering them.
Look at this collapse. There were 3 players in there, now there's only 1. Mose is actually teeing up a ground pound. Snaky somehow managed to kill himself, so that's going to be a 1-kill deficit for them at least. 36 to 27, 9-kill deficit. It's a big scoreline. They've almost doubled it from the 5 that we had earlier on. Respectful once again bags the sword. He's going to put that away so no one can see him. The aggression coming out of Brandon though. He's half shield and he's still challenging it. He trusts his shot, and honestly he's one of the best and most dominant shots in Europe right now. Scope straight down that carbine, lights one up over at the bubble, will crawl underneath. And you know what? There's 2 people there waiting, crouching like a tiger. They light him up. The sword's handed over, 38 to 31. Only 7 kills, 5 minutes on the clock, but they've got to slow it down. They've got to get themselves together.
They do, but this is the position you need to put FAB in. You saw a few members of FAB, they were up top mid, they had to drop bottom mid because they were worried about dying. And if you can make FAB worry about their deaths, that's when you can take advantage, that's when you can push in and get some map control. Unfortunately for Vibe at the moment, FAB have all the goodies. They have the sword, they have the fuel rod, they did have the camouflage as well. They are making a game of it, just 4 kills now.
Yeah, and essentially what we said they needed to do is make sure they get the fuel rod, get the camouflage. That's exactly what they did, and now they they have the sword in their position with Mose as well. So with only a 4-point game, Fabi, they certainly can get themselves back into this one.
Come back, boys. 3 people over at Bubble. We've got 2 Foxy on his own left in there. Splinter Nade goes in, catches one off guard, but unfortunately Perry is only one shot. Down goes Foxy. Splinter Nades are coming across map from Mose, not finding any targets. Septic's all tagged up at one shot, gets the easy clean kill for him there. 2 players, 3 players now off the spawn. They're all inside the base. Another Splinter Nade going in, trying to find a target from across the map. Steamboy in with the sword, needs to check above his head.
This is what we were talking about, Sims. Mose running in with the sword. That's a free kill. No one there to trade it off, and just like that, they're only down by 3 now. And with the Furor coming up, Fabi have map control. They know when the camouflage is coming up. This is scary territory here for Vibe.
Crouching Tiger, hidden sword player. 2 players are above his head. They're going to drop down. In fact, they're not. They're getting pinned in. We got Snipe Drone top mid though. He's going to put some shots on Foxy and take him down to at least give them a little bit of breathing room. He doesn't quite know where this player is. He's going to challenge it again. He's no shot. Then one player comes below and Snipe Drone's going to clean him up. That's a massive kill. That is an absolute massive kill. 2 players just boxing one in to take down the sword guy. Splinter Nade's going to grow in. I was going to say, I'm not surprised if that gets a free kill, which it does. But Respectful could be the game changer. He's a great place. He's got the fuel rod. Needs to be careful of Snipe Drone, who also throws a Splinter Nade back himself. This is rather messy and back and forth down.
Yeah, it's phenomenal how Vibe are just able to single out players and they're keeping certain members out of the game at the moment. But FAB are racking up the kills, getting back into it. Snipe Drone does have sword though, so he can really make a difference. Massive kill though for Respectful. Only a 1-kill game now. We're going right to the wire, and I didn't really expect much else.
And look at that, he's left it for his teammate. His teammate spawned above him. You know for a fact we're saying grab the sword, grab it, bag it, let's go. Diving in now with Fuel Rod, 1 bullet left, takes down one person above him, just trying to clamber. No, he don't. He actually moved back, so he's going to be in the base. Look for him dropping down the elevator shaft now. He's crouching around, he doesn't know where he is. Random Fuel Rod goes across. Jawline Snaky, 47 to 48, 1-kill lead for Vibe.
He's going to put down shots, but he's going to get taken down as well. Now he's moved over to P2. There are 2 members there. Mose is underneath them with the sword. He needs to make sure he doesn't get taken down. As we see, 3 members are over that. That means Snipe Drone is left on his own. Mose needs to communicate this with his team and try and single this kill out, but shots are raining down onto Mose. That will be 1-1-5. Get one on the board, 50 to 47. Great stuff from them. They had a really commanding lead. It did look like FAB were getting back into it, but it just wasn't enough.
Look at how they boxed him in at the end. Someone tagged him up and 2 players beeline bottom mid and just pinned him in underneath Carbine. There was nowhere for him to go. Down he went, sword in hand. That's going to be it, 50 to 47. Ironically, the same score the last time these 2 teams matched up.
We said it would be a barn burner. We said it'd be match of the week. And I tell you what, boys, it's living up to the billing. Snaky, 16 assists, most in the game by a long shot. 15 and 15 out of Snipe Drone and Septic, so fair share of slays from them as well. Cristolo, not the most inspired performance, but he kept his deaths below that magic 12, so good stuff from him. And then on the Fabi side, nothing really standing out there. They just got outclassed by untradeable kills there from Vibe.
Fantastic effort from both teams. We are all tied up 1 apiece, so at least we get the game 4. You know, that is in the barrel. It's not going to be this 3-0 sweep. And even in the first one, you know, it was a 3-2. It was a hard-fought victory. Respectful there was so lucky. So unlucky not to catch him. Again, that sword putting in work at the end, but they didn't want to let... If Mose could have got away with just a couple more kills, he could have been extremely dangerous. They knew that. They said, right, we need 1. Screw it. Let's all push him together and let's single this guy out and take him down. Take him down, he did. And they are now tied up in this series.
But he was under that base for so long. They just kept him under the game. You could see he was trying to do what he could, but Vibe were doing incredibly well to keep him down there. They then picked their moment and took him out. Beautiful.
Jawliner.
Beautiful. But it just wasn't enough, unfortunately.
No.
Vibe, they were able to get that, maybe, I think it was a 10-kill lead at one point, and it was just too much for FAB to get back into.
Yeah, I don't know why, boys. This series just has the makings. It just has the feelings of just an all-time classic. I'm just so happy we got to see it on the last week.
Did you say El Clasico? Are we
Some might
that,
say El Clasico of Halo.
El Clasic
Halo.
Looking at the game types now, right? Okay, so I said earlier, if Truth Slayer had gone to FAB, then this was probably a 3-0. Eden Strongholds, I give that to FAB, but we go to Truth Capture the Flag. I didn't notice it earlier. These guys actually faced off on Truth Capture the Flag as well last time they met. Vibe won that one 3-1. Wow. So perhaps that takes it to a 2-2, and then we're going to a Rig Slayer. We're going to a Game 5. That's what we all want.
Oh my word.
Everything is so good right now. Eden Strongholds will be match number 3. Tweet the stream use the hashtag HCS. This is the battle for #1 seed, pretty much. Both of these teams going at it neck and neck, #1 and #2 in Europe. Arguably the 8 best players in arguably, I want to say there are others there, best players in Europe right now. And honestly, Vibe clutching up when it mattered most, flipping the previous scoreline on its head and ending that win 50-47. Now, Strongholds can be a little bit rubber band, and it can go any person's way. Give me some stats and statistics on both of these teams.
So FAB currently 9-1 in Strongholds game types in general, 5-5 for Vibe. So across the season, you'd have to lean towards FAB. In terms of in Strongholds, I'm not sure. I don't have any particular statistics, but when you've got a player like 2Foxy on your side who is always going to be there to make sure those strongholds get secured, to defend them, it's going to be very hard for Vibe. If they've got a game plan, though, like they did in these first 2 game types, it really looks like they've done their research. If they try and take Foxy out of this game, then perhaps they can take this one.
Well, the interesting thing is they haven't really taken 2Foxy out of either of the first 2 games. I mean, 2Foxy had an absolute stellar game last game. I mean, the amount of times I saw him with the Fiora getting double kills and even backing his gun skill sometimes with the battle rifle, overextending. I mean, we saw when he tried challenging Christoda, I think it was, when it was 48-47, that kind of thing, a little bit unnecessary. So maybe they're just banking on 2Foxy being a little bit too aggressive and just picking him off whenever he decides to be a little bit too aggressive.
So let's take a quick look at where we stand. That slay was crazy from Hunter. It certainly was, bro. It was intense.
There's no other words.
No, it was intense. But let's take a look at what we've got there. So 5-5.
Yes.
On Strongholds for one team, 9-1 for the other. What does the 9-1 say? Apart from them being pretty good at Strongholds, does that speak volumes about the raw slaying power or the communications or anything that stands out?
I think it's the communication. I mean, we spoke about it on Capture the Flag, how Vibe are kind of exploiting the fact that Fabi love to flood one side of the map, all 4 players. And that works out on Capture the Flag, but when you're going up against a team of 4 that flies at you, all 4 players on Strongholds, it's tough to stop that because you have to stand your ground and defend strongholds. You can't really flank around and try and steal a stronghold away from the other team because it's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade. You're just going to be going back and forth, and eventually one team's going to win. So it's definitely the communication from FAB. They all believe in each other. They all know what they want to do. They're all just so aggressive, and they just trust each other so much. And it's tough to go against that. And I think it's showing in their strongholds records with 9-1.
And the reason why I said I think they need to take Foxy out of the game, and you're right, the first 2 games Foxy was allowed to run free, and I think that's okay, but when it comes to strongholds, Foxy has the 2nd most strongholds captured across the league. He has something like 46. Now, if you can stop him being able to be so confident with where he's pushing, you can stop him pushing into those strongholds, then that's when you are going to succeed, because Foxy's that one player who is just happy to be anywhere. He doesn't really care if he secures a stronghold and then dies, but if you can make sure he can't even get to that stronghold and secure it first, you are going to be in good nick. I think that Harry is completely right. FAB just have better teamwork. They have better communication. They're always together. They know where their team are going to be. On the other hand, though, Vibe do have these 1 or 2 players that currently in the series, they are lingering around. They are being a nuisance, and that could be a thorn in the side for FAB.
Really quickly, sorry to break you off. On that point then, from both of you, one player to watch in this matchup, particularly on this game type?
On this game type specifically, Snaky, because the amount of times in the past we've seen him hold down that catwalk stronghold all by himself. His use of grenades on that stronghold in particular, absolutely top notch. Honestly, in my opinion, probably the best in the league. On the FAB side, I think it is 2Foxy.
I only asked for one, mate.
You only get one.
You said one from each side.
One from each person.
Oh, what? One each, mate. Sorry, mate.
No, you said one from each side. Okay, well, I'm watching the rebroadcast.
But you can just sit in your little corner.
Your turn. It was going to lead on to the point that I was going to make before you cut me off.
Go on then. On the opposing side, then, who are you feeling?
It's fine. No, you go ahead.
Oh, now I feel bad, man.
I was going to say 2Foxy because I was going to agree with you, Dan. I think Vibe actually do need to shut down Fabi, not only because all of the points that you raised, but also the fact it's essentially cutting the head off the snake, because he's the one who calls, okay, let's all run catwalk, let's all go through security, or let's all go outside. He's the one who makes those calls. So if you take him out of the game and sit him on their screen or just keep him pinned in the base, he can't make those calls and he just won't go with his team.
I think we know that Foxy is a player to watch for me. On Vibe side, I'm actually going to say Snipe Drone. I know you're probably thinking Snipe Drone on Strongholds, but actually this season he's been the guy that's been getting into those Strongholds, he's been capturing them, he's been putting himself in a position for his team to make sure they can be putting points on the board. So I want to see what he can do.
Outside of Snaky, Snipe Drone would have been mine to watch as well, purely because I love you and I agree with you, but Kappa Pride in the chat. Also, he's turned up to the series excellently. The first 2 games, sometimes players just really feel a series, and I honestly feel like Snipedrone right now is playing up to the occasion. He's hungry for this win. He wants to make sure his team are top of the European standings, and that's essentially what this matchup is. It's the battle for first place.
I'm going to go with Respectful, and just completely...
Did anyone ask him?
I'm asking myself there. I'm running the show, son. You sit down and stay there in your little seat. All right, fam. And specifically, only because I don't think yet in these 2 games that we've seen, we've really seen the best of him. I don't think we've seen that just yet. Fair enough, he's gone huge, but now the pressure, when the pressure gets on, Brandon, I need to stop saying first names, Respectful, really turns up. And I think now he's been given that bit of a kick and say, all right, guys, we're getting pushed a little bit harder. Let's do this. Let's get his heads in the game. Let's really stick it to him and show them who's boss. Game 3 is coming up on screen, guys. Strongholds on Eden. The first team to grab 100 points or have the most at the end of the time will be the victor. FAB versus Vibe are 2 top European teams. Tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS, share it on Facebook, let everybody know this is a slobber knocker.
I like what you touched on about Respectful as well. He has the most strongholds defended for his team, so clearly he's that player that makes sure he hangs back just in case anyone is going to flank around and try and catch a sneaky stronghold. Jimbo goes down nice and early, so some early pressure from Vibe, and they're going to try and take this catwalk. Now, good grenades as well from Snaky. I think that's always a fantastic thing to do, just get nades in that nest just to stop anyone capturing it. Unfortunately, he didn't have any more to work with though.
Yeah, Harry touched on it during the pre-game, how he just anchors this point. We'll see if he lives up to the standard and does it again. Unfortunately, that grenade didn't actually hit anybody when he initially fired it out. Moz will wipe out Snipedrone. 2 players are going to be advancing on Cat though. Excuse me, a lower Cat. One's gone down with the rockets. Not entirely sure who that was or how many he's got in the chamber. I did hear a loud bang. But now we see the full force of FAB on that top catwalk. 2 players, excuse me, get it transferred into the hands a little bit quicker. Triple cap in full effect, and now they're just bleeding them dry. Look at where they've pinned them back in the spawn. However, flip spawn now, it's on the opposing side. Blue Ben, 2 players dive in there. They're coming out of this one. But just look at that bottom corner. We saw 1, 2, 3, 2 players on the player outlines just advancing in, really putting the pressure on them, giving them no breathing room. 2fox is going to stay alive as his teammate just shoots him in the back, and this right now is textbook FAB. Push every stronghold.
Yeah, as soon as they got catwalk and they saw Blue Ben going, they moved as a unit, but not as a 4. They spread out and went 2-2s each side of the map. They clambered around their opposition. They made sure they can get the kills, and unfortunately there wasn't any room for Vibe. They tried to push out one-on-one, but look at all the Vibe players at the moment. They're scattered, they're around bottom mid, they're trying to push, they're trying to get any map control as possible, but FAB are just dominating every area of the map right now, which is a worrying scene for Vibe.
I'll tell you what, boys, I don't want to jinx it, but that 100-0 is looking rather tasty right now. FAB are kind of on fire. Respectful staying alive, will drop back. Moz will give him some support. He's just going to hide around the corner. Cristola's going to pick him off at least, but that is great teamwork too. But Snipedrone helping his teammate out. Cristola, unfortunately, is forced to go down below. Jimbo's going to chase that kill. He knows exactly. In fact, he doesn't know where he is. He has to hit around the corner, so you might see the kill come up. Yes, it is. Jim goes down on the kill feed. That's a great kill coming out of them. Moz turns on one. He's going to get away with it. Snipedrone staying alive outside here with the BR.
I absolutely love what Vibe did then. They had red nest, and that's all they had. The temptation to push out as soon as you capture a stronghold is just ridiculous. The amount of teams in the Pro League outside of these 2 teams that do that is honestly astounding. And now look, as a result of Vibe just paying those, extra couple of seconds to group up and push out, they now have total control of the map. They have Snaky with the rockets, and they also have Snipedrone here anchoring both the red nest and the catwalk with this battle rifle.
Just to follow on from that point, it was Snipedrone just sticking around red nest. Then we saw a FAB member jump on red nest, but Snipedrone was there waiting. And just like you say, the patience from Vibe is what has got them back into the game.
That's a nice triple. Double. It was almost a triple. There's another one as well. So Snaky just absolutely anchoring there on blue corner at least. One player's going to come around. It's going to be Moz. Gets lit up from above his feet. Snipedrone. He's just not going nowhere. Will thrust out the way of that grenade. He's getting tagged up from behind though. So great kill by 2foxy. Getting the call out from Moz there. Cristola steamboats in to try and grab the BR and take that position back so they can get eyes on Top Cat. Top Cat's going to get transferred across. This is the time to break the hold that Vibe have currently on Eden Stronghold. You can see Blue Bend is also about to go into the hands of FAB, which it does. But now they're going to try and switch it back just as soon as I say this. boy oh boy, this is back and forth.
It is, and we said that Vibe had a game plan in game 1, and Snipe Drone was the key to that. It's happening again. Snipe Drone is just making sure that he hangs around, he lingers around these strongholds, and he's catching these FAB players off guard. They're pushing in, expecting to just be able to take these strongholds for free, thinking they flanked around successfully, but there's always a Snipe Drone waiting there, as now Vibe takes the lead.
Important kill, unfortunately doesn't quite land it. That is a big capture up on top catwalk there. Oh, FAB. I'm getting so confused by these colours. I keep expecting FAB to be red, so excuse me if I do get some of the names a tiny bit wrong. Snipe Drone's going one-on-one with one player. Did go for the thrust back. Unfortunately, the thrust wasn't quite ready. Septic's going to hop on board and try and nade Red Nest. Respectful needs to stop this catwalk from getting transferred across, otherwise the pressure will get that just that tiny little bit harder, which he does. He applies the pressure back. We're going to see FAB take the triple cap. The points will really begin to rack up unless they can break the hole that FAB currently have. And at the moment, it looks like Blue Ben's going to be the one to start that chain reaction off.
A lot of pressure on Septic's shoulders now with this camouflage as well. He needs to make sure he makes a big play. Snipe Drone is just waiting in this. And I love this. I love this from Septic. Just being able to push in, just making sure he assists his team, picking up that stronghold before he pushes out and does anything too crazy. Now he can move forward and try and get an important kill. Instead, he's going to hover around catwalk. If he can get this kill as well, this will be important. He can just reset that stronghold, but he is going to get lit up across from Red Nest. But he is surviving. I think this is the key point.
Yeah, and more importantly, he's surviving so that his teammates can at least move up to the bend. They can try and take it back. It's getting it's a little bit of a fight for it, which they do manage to get it. So it was a great position to kind of bottle them neck back into this control area. Fair enough, he's one shot, he's not getting the kill, but look, there's 3 members here. He's just letting them feed. Don't get that kill, don't do it. That was so close. Great effort coming out of Septic, but keeping them focused on him. Fair enough, they're getting kills, but it's allowed Vibe to keep ticking the points. They weren't taking back any capture points whatsoever.
They weren't, but now we can see that FAB are pushing forward. They are behind, but instantly they get one back with the quick draw from Mose. I mean, Mose has just got one of those shots that you do not want to go up against. His pistol accuracy is absolutely insane. Snaky does try and take Red Nest, but he gets shut down immediately, and instantly Jimbo is there being a nuisance trying to take this Blue Bear. Not very good grenades though, almost killing 2 Foxes there.
Yeah, just clip the edge of it. You'll see one player that's going to be Septic anchoring the window. They're going to try and knock back this triple cap effect, which they do, take it down to 2. We'll still see him hiding down on the player outlines. One player's going to jump in and crouch around. I think that's going to be Mose. Jimbo's also moving his way around past the light rifle. Cristola's forced to drop back. Headshot comes in. Down he goes. Helps his teammate out in the nest.
That might be GG.
Oh, they did get the kill at least. Rockets are up as well. You kind of call it, Harry. This could potentially be GG. Rockets in the hand of Jimbo. Triple cap's about to pop in. All he has to do is just slay. There's one. Lamb to the slaughter. Slams the OS into his chest. Will drop up on the sneaky. Can he stop the turn? One rocket goes in. Gets a 2 for a 1. They're going to train this one back. That's going to be a triple cap. And GG, no re.
I loved how he just waited. He knew the overshield was coming down. He had the timing precisely. He just waited with a rocket, and it just was the icing on the cake for a solid performance from FAB Esports.
Yeah, most certainly. Just great plays out of Jimbo there in the end game. It was just beautiful. The late game pushes just absolutely spot on from FAB. They made an absolute, pretty good game of it in the end, but you got to say FAB just so good on that game type. Slays across the board, nothing really standing out. Respectful on Mo's joint top slayers in the game. Just behind him is Snaky. And Snipe Drone top captures in the game, as he has been doing all season long, but unfortunately not good.
Interesting to see Jimbo not having the most, I want to say, strongest of games. However, at the end, it was definitely at least securing that bend and securing the OS.
3 out of those 5 kills were massive towards the end of that game from Jimbo. So, yeah, he may not be slaying as much as he'd like to, but there's only so many kills to go around on the FAB squad.
And when you've got Mose and Respectful on your team, I think you're more than happy. As long as you win the game, you don't really care how many kills you're getting. Jimbo has been able to kind of take this role in his stride. When you've got players that are more than capable of putting those kills on the board, it means you can fall back. It means you can play more of a support role and do the important things behind the scenes.
It's about the W at the end of the day, which is exactly what they got. He won't be too fussed as long as they walk away with the win in this series. And more than likely, I mean, watch this. Bang, pop. What a quick draw. Just whips it out, smacks in between the eyeballs. Classic Mose and his disgusting shot.
They talk about his one-taps.
Mate, don't dare bring it up in this game. I will eject you from the building and back to CSGO, my friend. Let's take a look back. I said to look back at the desk there. That's all your fault, mate. I'm going to blame you.
You're still in play-by-play.
Take a look back at the cast here on the desk.
Shirt, we got a blue shirt. We've got a hoodie. Oh,
I'm
we
sorry.
haven't touched on this yet.
No, I didn't.
Sorry.
Can I touch on it?
Someone
on,
forgot their shirt today, so they had to just sit here in there. And tomorrow.
Tomorrow as well. Oh, we'll have to buy you one. We'll go shopping.
I am really concerned that I've left them outside.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure that I walked out the house, I had them on a coat hanger, I put them on the banister outside the flat and walked away. And no doubt, unfortunately, I hope they're not listening, but the neighbours upstairs do have a tendency to maybe think, oh, these are nice.
Ooh,
I'll take them, mate.
These are my size, actually.
I'll walk into the pub next week and
I'll tell
saying,
you what, Rich.
All right, lad.
We'll go shopping. We'll go on a mandate. We'll get you some shirts.
I've got to say, you do are quite more snazzier than my limited wardrobe, so to speak. Back in the day, it was simply Henry Lloyd polo t-shirts and jeans. But guys, you can see on screen we're coming into game number 4. We're moving back to Truth. Now, gents, I really want to quickly touch on this one. We saw Team Vibe take that first True Slayer, 50-47. Can that translate anywhere into Truth capture the flag? Dan, we'll start with you.
Absolutely, yes it can. It will depend whether Vibe have the same kind of game plan they had in Game 1, where they are going to absorb pressure and then send one round on the flank. I don't think it will work as well on Truth as it did on Coliseum, but considering the last time these two faced up on Truth capture the flag, Vibe did take it 3-1.
Yes.
There's definitely a chance for them in this game.
Yeah, the worrying thing about Truth Slayer is that when FAB had control and they were able to flank one of the players around with a sword, they looked very devastating. On Truth Flag, it's actually a lot easier to do that because you're only playing essentially like in front of you, if that makes sense. You don't have to worry about spawning behind you because you only spawn on one side of the map. So you basically only have to worry about half of the map until players start spawning. So it's a lot easier to kind of get that map control and make use of it than it is in Slayer because obviously of the varied spawns.
Looking into the crystal ball of statistics then, who does this sit on to take the win?
The viewer in me wants to say this is going to go to 2-2, but my heart does say that FAB are just going to step it up now and they're going to make it 3-1.
I'm going to say the same. The Vibe Life fam in me, you know, kind of really wants to say Vibe are going to take this, but the way that FAB play this map, especially when they get control, is absolutely devastating. If Vibe want a chance, they need to get the camo, they need to start playing very, very quickly and get an early cap on the board to try and, you know, get a little bit of shell shock into the feeling of Fabi.
Well, you know what? I'm saying game 5, you miserable buggers, because we all want to see it. Game number 4 is locked, loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This could be potentially Fabi securing what I believe #1 seed going into the fall season's final. All they have to do is take down Vibe in this 4th matchup. However, Vibe have been giving as good as they get in this series so far. We're going to see Jimbo bagging that first camo of the game. Christo's hot on his tail. Does get the kill, but almost a nice cheeky trade coming out of Jimbo. Great shots, I mean, will fall down, hopping on the POV of Septic.
I like the variety from Jimbo though. He kind of changed up his starting strat there. He's the only player on his team that does push for that camouflage. Considering there was 2 members of Vibe pushing it on the opposition side, he did really well just to grab it and contest it in general, so I'm not sure he'll be too disappointed about burning that one. As we see, Snipedrone does have the sword, but important kill from Respectful, and now he'll shove that in his back pocket, and that's going to be very important when he's pushing towards that flag.
And we need to emphasize how bleeding dangerous a sword is on this map because of what you can do with the flag. If you are new to Halo, you run faster with that sword in the back pocket. Sorry, it's not in the back pocket actually. When you get it out, if you are flag running and flag juggling with that thing, you can get it, you can beeline across map and you can just move it at an unparalleled pace. Look for him to try and make full use of that until you grenade yourself in the face.
Yeah, it's almost more than a power weapon because, like you say,
it's like a utility.
It honestly is like a utility, and you have to absolutely consider that above all else. Meanwhile, we are talking, Jimbo is running that flag, but that sword absolutely vital on Truth capture the flag because those flag runs can be so quick and so swift.
We'll see who. Oh, I'm about to say we'll see where that one lands. It's actually going to be Moz. Oh, lo and behold, once again the same man on Truth. The flag is moving into his back pocket. Oh, excuse me, into the base's back pocket. We'll see FAB take a very early lead. Buzz jumps up, will slice and dice. One person to the jawline, jumps out on Septic. Septic's forced to push back. But look at his screen, guys. You can just see red player outlines left, right, and center. Takes down one as he just fades away. Whips out the sword, scopes in. Unfortunately, a little bit too late. Will drop down. Right now, at the moment, FAB are getting heavily outside. It's definitely the story of the game.
They are, and after getting that cap, FAB were in their base. Vibe just kind of swarmed in, but FAB knew that was going to be a thing, so they all waited, they were patient, they didn't push out straight away, and now they can start moving another flag. Septic is going to get taken down by the Fury as well. All the goodies are in the hands of FAB, so this is looking pretty fantastic for them.
Yeah, Ops to not actually even bother grabbing that flag, who will instead tag up the power weapon, which is absolutely fine. Look for one of his teammates to grab it, which he does. 2 players will go down. Spins around. 360, 1, 2, 3. Finally gets one off on the 4. Does waste 4 bullets doing so, and also cost him a death as well. Both players trying to move around and avoid one another. Respectful goes one-on-one, whips out the AR. Snaky says, not today, my friend. Sit down, Sunshine. Have a perfect to the face. Jimbo's peeking up, though, with a flag. GPK 2-0 now for FAB Esports.
Yep, just 1 flag away from winning this series. Vibe need to change something up, and they need to change it soon. The Fuel Rod might be the answer in the hands of Cristola. As you can see, several members of Vibe are trying to push in, but they just are met by 3 members of FAB that are more than happy to sit in their base, wait for them to come. As soon as they get those kills, that's when they push out. But Cristola is doing work. Can he get the kill? He does. Great double kill from Cristola there. Now Vibe can move this flag. They need to push on. This is their chance to get back in the game.
Cheekiest thrust of 2016. Avoids that beatdown. Jim's coming straight off the spawn, and Cristola's all over him once again, over in the bubble. Flag's going to be on the move. Most is opts to pull that one out. Respectful's there to back him up. Snaky's forced to go up top as well, as he has no shields whatsoever, just hiding away in the attic. He will jump out on Respectful. Respectful says, sit down, my friend. Double kill coming out of Respectful.
He can return this.
1 plasma grenade.
That's insane.
Oh my god. That's going to be... That's mental. How did he get that kill?
He just single-handedly shut down 2 of the Vibe players and returned the flag. That's crazy. That's why Respectful right now, best player in Europe. That's insane.
We need to, if Lennox is watching, make sure you get some sort of playback in the pre-game of how he did that, because I honestly have absolutely zero idea.
I can tell you exactly how he did it. I mean, he threw a nade, killed the flag out, he was no shields, but also won the 1 versus 1 duel versus Snaky, and identified both the last 2 remaining Vibe players alive were in his own base trying to get their own return. So he said, you know what, I'm just going to return this flag, boys. It's easy. And just like that, they're about to put in the last flag of the series. And here we go.
Steaming in then. Jimmy's there. 3-0, my friends. Finishes it off. Game, set, and match. FAB kind of fully solidify themselves atop of that chart. And I believe, gents, confirm they are now your #1 seed going into fall season finals.
Good question.
I believe Infused...
We'll get, you know what, Jacob's in the back.
No, I believe Infused may be able to do something about that.
If FAB lose tomorrow and Infused win, it's very unlikely, but I'm pretty sure they will both be tied on 8 and 2, and it would go down to head-to-head. So that's an interesting one. Going back to the stats, Jimbo, most flags in the game, and also joint top slayer with Respectful as well. Respectful with those 2 crucial flag returns.
Just to let you know, we've actually got him on for an interview, so we'll ask him about that cheeky kill at the end there.
Nice. And outside of that, a load of 8s and a 6 on the Vibe side. Not really a whole lot of slaying coming out of them, and in the end, FAB, they just take the win. You can see the confidence here. As soon as Mose has the sword in the base, he's just running at players and putting shots down. And that's what we were kind of worried about for Vibe, you know, before this game. We know how aggressive FAB can be when they have that map control, and when they only have one side of the map to worry about. This was it right here. So Snipe Drone gets tagged down to no shields with a nade, I'm pretty sure. So Respectful puts him weak and then nades, and then looking at player outlines, he wins the 1 versus 1 duel versus Snaky with a nade as well, and then gets the return as well. Like, that's just next level stuff.
I don't know how he got it with 1 plasma nade though.
He threw 2. I'm pretty sure he stuck Snaky.
When
he was 1v1ing against Snaky, after he threw the nade against
Snipe and bounced it down.
I'm pretty sure he just straight up stuck Snaky. I'm pretty sure.
Clutch players as ever.
So what I can confirm is that by FAB winning, it means Vibe can't come top. Essentially, that is 100%. That is going to be a thing. It means Vibe will not be going into finals as first seed. FAB pretty much are there, but I believe there is a situation where Infused can make it there as well. If FAB were to lose tomorrow, Infused were to win, it would go down to a head-to-head, but we'll get to that nitty-gritty stuff tomorrow.
Perfect. And you know what? The best thing about that is that we get to see it all tomorrow. The action is live, same time. It's a double weekend, guys, of European Halo esports action. We will be crowning your champions through 1 through 4 and seeding them as we look towards fall season finals. And we will also be seeing in which position they finish as well, who will be dropping down to the online relegation. It's It's going to be incredible. I'm super, super hyped. We're going to be getting Respectful on the line in just a second to hear his thoughts coming into this one. I mean, generally, what are your guys' thoughts? If we're looking at these two rosters now, who's fair enough? They've won the top. They didn't go down without a fight. With a couple more tweaks, that certainly could have been quite easily a game number 5. Who's the standout player right now for you guys on both rosters? Who are the two? Well, in fact, let's talk about Europe. Who are your two standout players right now in Europe?
Honestly, for me, Kimbo actually from Infused. I'm tempted to say I think Infused are in my top 2. I think I put Infused over Vibe right now. A big call, but I do think that is a situation we could be looking at Infused going in as first or second seed ahead of Vibe. But I think we've got to talk about, I mean, I don't want to single out either of them, but Moze and Respectful are just like kind of one. Respectful Moze. They are just an item. They are a duo. They are disgusting at this game, and they are pretty much going to be a very key factor if FAB are going to win another season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we see Infused versus Vibe tomorrow? Because Pulse play Prophecy, VWS play...
Yes, we do. Yes,
we see them tomorrow. So we're going to see who's the second best team in Europe. Because FAB right now is 100% number 1.
But you know what? Speaking of FAB, we have the team captain on the line, Mr. Brandon Stones, a.k.a. Respectful. Can you hear us from sunny Scunny?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we, brother?
Not bad, mate. I'm not too well, actually, but we've obviously come off with a win, so that makes things a bit better.
It's certainly, especially that game number 2, and even the game number 1, they were both well-fought battles. Did you expect Vibe to put up such a damn good fight? Because I was watching some of the scrims the other day, and you were kind of ruffle-stomping them. Did you expect him to put on such a good fight?
Well, obviously, you know, scrims, obviously you still try your heart out sort of thing, but when it comes to Pro League, everyone's going to try a bit more, like, they're just going to try a lot more in general, to be honest, when it comes to Pro League, sort of like LAN events, blah, blah, blah. So, no, I'm not really surprised. The first 2 games, there was really good. There was a bit too close, obviously, for my liking. Still got a few things to work on as a team, blah, 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 and obviously we lost the True Slayer game, but nevertheless, you know, Vibe are a really good squad.
And how do you guys prepare for games? It's something I've always been interested with most players, but obviously you are the best team in Europe right now. Do you watch back VODs of when you last played these guys, when you scrimmed, or in Pro League, or do you just focus on your own game?
To be honest, we do a little bit. I think we mostly like to watch the Americans rather than, you know, watching games. We do obviously still watch games back in Europe and whatnot, what we play, what we can do better. But mostly we watch the Americans and then we just talk about what we can do better as a team, what we need working on, like what's okay sort of thing. But no, it's just, you know, all around a little bit of everything to prepare.
Bran, what do you think about the next series up on stream? Pulse versus VWS potentially deciding. What you guys think?
No, nothing.
Well, potentially deciding who makes finals. Batchford earlier said Chalky's the one to watch. Talk to me who you think is going to win and who you think is going to be the player to watch.
Really, like this is the series where it can go either way. I mean, you know, Chalky when it matters, like when it comes to it, Lifeline, like is a really, really good player. Like he's gonna go in, like as opposed like to what he would the previous like of Pro League. But like I say, SLG can go off at any minute. But I really, really, really. Like, if I'm going to put it in 2 people's hands, I'd either say it's going to be SLG carrying his team, or it's just going to be Andy Ramirez making all the calls. I can either see it being a 3-0 to either team, or it can just go to a game 5. I'm not really sure. It's a weird one.
So 2 things I want to touch on really quickly, Bran, because we've not really spoke about it since coming back. I know we're near enough at the end of the fall season, but 2 things then. 1, what happened and what did it do to your mindset losing to Infuse last week? Because I don't think any of us expected that to happen.
All right, well, it's a bit of a funny one, really. I mean, we lost to Infuse, and me and Moze had a little talk to ourselves, and we was like, "Come on, did we really lose to Patchford?" so we kind of used it as some motivations sort of thing, and was like, right, we're not going to let this get back to us now. We're just going to practice even more, go over stuff more, and obviously, like as you can see, it's worked. So.
And the next question is a rather old one, but I don't think I've ever asked you on this. Coming into the fall season finals, you've now got Jimbo on the roster. What's the biggest change you've seen as a team and as a unit coming into this finals in comparison to last finals with Kimbo?
Well, Kimbo, I'm still really, really good friends with him. He's an amazing player, like all you're saying. But I think with Jim, because, kind of me and Mose can do our own thing, we can slay as it is. We needed more of an all-round sort of player. Like when obviously last event, our flags wasn't the strongest, but now obviously in like more objective game times, we've improved a lot more. Nevertheless, we would have done it with Robbie as well, but I thought kind of we've already got that role on our team with me and Mose. So, we thought Jim would be the perfect fit, and he is.
And does that kind of explain why you only picked up 5 kills on Eden, for instance, while everyone else is doing the what? Because Jim will just do anything it is to take the win?
Yeah. Jim's that sort of player that he don't care. He's going to sacrifice himself. He's going to do everything for the team. He just wants a W at the end of the day, and we all do. So, hats off to him for that.
Right then, Brandon, I want to say thank you very much. Congratulations as well, once again, stomping the fall season. It's great to see you guys progress so much. And yeah, we will be seeing you at 4 finals, brother. Thank you very much and have a good night.
No worries, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you later. Right then, gents. Any words? I think you're looking at me in a funny manner.
Just touching again on FAB losing to Infused and what Respectful said there about losing to Batchford.
Not losing to Infused, losing to Batchford.
What Mose said on Twitter, Mose said, "Thank you guys, because I've just remembered what losing feels like again, and I don't want it to happen
Kick up the
again."
ass.
It's just like...
And the last time that happened?
They won a championship.
Yeah.
YOLO. Right, guys. It's going into a very short break. After this, we have our 3rd and final series of the evening. And this one, again, everything is on the line for these two teams. This could potentially be a decider between going to relegation and going to finals. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in 5.